Alright, we are back for round 1 as expected. It took ages to finish the draft and we did not get anything relevant, so basically I'm playing what I told you I would play. Yeah, one lander, not really gonna do it. This is a decent 5. I think we keep that on top. Like, in general, I'm very inclined to just put most lands on bottom when I'm scrying in limited. You know, burying, sometimes you want the land, but when I don't know, I usually end up putting those on the bottom. But here we have 2 unbound creatures, which means that flooding is less likely. Also having the land let us cast Unburden, which is not, crazy, but could be decent. And yeah, I believe it's just the right to keep the land here. And hopefully we can just counter a good creature here and then go Haven Initiate. And despite having control deck will be the aggressor this game, I guess. Kind of. Definitely playing that first. I want to beat down, and it beats down better than the Oracle. Love that card, and not because it's it's called the Oracle. it's just surprisingly solid. Like, it's basically 2/4 for 4, Scry 3, but slightly better. And 2/4 for 4, Scry 3 is is already quite good. Given plays nothing. I imagine the Haven Initiate is gonna get electrified here. No? Okay, maybe they kept kind of a medium hand, but with Amit, which is a pretty good card. Not sure what's going on. Then dropping Oracle here. I'm gonna keep one land on top for the Drake. At this point, I believe we don't really want to drop anymore. Soul Stinger is always rather solid. I don't think we should put that on bottom. So we'll put this on top. Next turn we'll draw Swamp and we'll be able to cast Drake. And we have quite a bit of aggression here. Also, we could use Soul Stinger, put all the counter on Skirmisher and build a sweet 4/5 if we want to. Which, since we're in kind of a beatdown position here, could be good. Not sure what the opponent's doing. Maybe they are missing a third color, maybe they really need double red, but they kind of have a super clunky draw here somehow. I could see them having +2/+0, get your creature back, but yeah, they do have that. Okay, sure, no problem. I mean, sure. It's a very risky move for them to make, because I could have a bunch of things that would, make this block very bad, but I'm not faulting them for doing that because they are so far behind. At some point you cannot play around stuff and you have to go for it and hope it works. And basically they are kind of in this exact situation. Now they are dead unless they have a removal or a flyer. An attack, interesting. Seems like a bad news if they are attacking, but maybe this is just a, desperation move. Oh, I guess maybe I wanted to see if I would block, so they could use a trick to get rid of my Drake. But no, I'm not blocking here. I did it didn't blocking with the. It's weird because it's a decent block. Blocking a 3/2 with a 3/4, but it did not even cross my mind that I would try to block here. And they conceded. Alright, they could have had another trick where if we had blocked, they could have dealt with the dragon and win. The Drake, I guess. Some people are gonna yell at me, this is not a dragon. Okay, yeah, they had kind of a clunky draw, but on the other hand, they played a couple things. They had apparently the mana they needed, so I'm not sure what was their hand at this point. They could have been very flooded, but I think they missed the land drop. So, yeah, I really don't know what was up here. The only interesting card we got later in the draft was a copy of Winds of Rebuke, which I'm not playing in the main. I don't think it's necessary. But, we have this option in the side. Given what I saw, I'm not going to change match. I'm just going to submit the same deck. We don't have a ton of sideboard anyway. I think the deck is just very solid and consistent the way it is right here. Interesting. I think this is a keep on the draw. Like, if anything, we can cast a Beetle. If we draw a couple lands, the hand becomes amazingly good. Yeah. Slightly risky, but we need to miss a lot of land drop for this hand to become really, to pretty much explode in our hand, if I may say so. I'm not sure. I mean, in French you can say that, when something goes wrong, that it kind of explodes in your hands. I'm not sure if it's something that people usually say in English. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's not a question of French or English. I'm just the only the only human being on Earth saying that. It's really strange though, because you would expect the red black deck to have some pretty aggressive starts and be the aggressor, and my opponent has kept some kind of slow hand. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure what they are trying to do. It feels clunky so far. For them, obviously. Could see them dropping a Vizier here, i.e. in a pack, yeah. Okay. So we could Cartouche of Ambition, attack with a 3-4 into their now 2-3. This seems unnecessarily... This just doesn't use the mana well, and it doesn't do much, and if they have a removal we get 2 for 1. It just seems pretty bad. Just rather drop a flyer. The ground is pretty much solidified with the Dune Beetle and Sentinels. The only advantage of not playing Initiate here is that we can then cast Ragged Reaches without killing anything, but at this point I'm not even sure the opponent is going to cast some 2 toughness creature before... I mean, it doesn't look like the Ragged Reaches is going to be very good anyway, so... Yeah, I guess we just play that. Their own Cartouche of Ambition. Sure. Yes, sir. So if we go for the triple block and they have +2/+0 supernatural stamina thing, they get to kill 2 creatures, and they get back their pack at the end of the turn. Oh, no attack, okay. I think I would have gone for the block because beating the 4/5 lifelink is going to be very troublesome, and even if I can kind of get 2 for 1 if they do have the +2/+0, at least the Hyena comes back as a 3/4, which is much less problematic. Alright. Well, even Initiate is pretty good as a 2/1 flyer. I mean, it's not like the best use of the -1 counter, but if they have nothing great to do, it's not a bad play either. I'm surprised they did not attack last turn. This turn they are gonna attack though. Could double block. Not thrilled about that though, because if they just have Electrify, they get to kill the Drake and eat the Sentinels for free. I mean, we cannot really raise though. Like if we are taking 3 of lifelink every turn, it's pretty bad. If they do have Electrify, we cannot really Cartouche of Ambition next turn either though. This is kind of clunky, but I believe we just take the damage. Manticore of El Gauntlet. Yes, sir. Oh, they put the counter here. I'm actually pretty happy about that, because lifelink makes the counter a little bit, better for me if they put it here. It's kind of weird, like, and making that a 5/4 instead of a 4/3 doesn't really help. It seems weird. Like a counter on lifelink is like putting 2 counter on another creature, kind of. I'll take that though. So I think we want a Cartouche of Ambition here. The question is where. I mean, certainly on one of the 2 flyer. Putting it on Drake is nice because it means we are not getting burned by, I don't know, Magma Spray, Trial of Ambition, and these kind of things. However, Drake is our best card, so it's a little bit putting all of our eggs in the same basket if we do Cartouche Drake. Where if we Cartouche the Haven Initiate, it's more likely that they have a removal to kill it, but the Haven Initiate is a little bit less good creature right now. It's quite close. We could also not play the cartouche yet and just drop Naga Oracle. It uses our mana better, and it means we have some good block next turn. I mean, better block, if anything. On the other hand, if they don't have a removal, I'd rather just cartouche now and start to gain life, because I'm at 13 right here. And we can represent a counterspell, which is relevant too. I don't know which play is better between Drake. I'm gonna be a bit greedy and put it on the Drake. We also gain a little bit more life, and it's only really bad if they end up having what's the name of the card? Final Reward, because most red removal cannot kill it anymore now. Like Electrify doesn't do the trick, you know, they would need two removal. I put the counter here so I can double block here. I'm just gonna go for that. If they have a trick, if they have the +2/+0 trick, we don't lose both creature. We just lose one of the two creature. And if they have a removal, I'm glad if they want to spend it on one of my crappy blocker and not of, you know, on my threatening flyers. Brute Strength is bad for us. I did play around the trick I saw game 1, but not around Brute Strength, which might be a mistake, which is probably a mistake. Yeah. I guess there is that. I could have gone for something safer, which is just blocking the 3/4 with the beetle. I don't know, I think it makes sense to make a block that's decent around the trick you saw, and that doesn't necessarily play around another trick that you haven't seen yet. But maybe I'm just plain wrong. It's not the end of the world either. Sure. Yeah, okay. They probably need to do that in some sense, so... Sure, but I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, I'm not thrilled about this exchange, but I can live with it. And actually here I think I was not supposed to attack at all. So I can threaten to double block their thing, because I'm dealing 2, but they are gaining 3. I kinda attacked on autopilot here, it was bad. This will go to the graveyard. We certainly want to keep Gravedigger on top, and Soul Stinger I believe we want on top too. Now, in which order? I think I want to draw Soul Stinger next turn. It does block the Hyena pack they have fairly well. On the other hand, attacking here means we are less susceptible to removal spells they could have. Cool trick, they will probably get to bring back that thing a little bit later on. Soul Stinger, definitely gonna put the counter on itself. And at this point I think we don't attack, because we're actually pretty happy if we end up blocking with Initiate and it dies. And they have less and less cards in hand, which means them having, you know, some trick or removal is less likely, which means that making some double block is less risky. At this point I just want them to draw a couple 2 or less softness creatures so I can try to get value of my Rag's Riches. Well, this qualifies. I guess I have no good attack here. What to do? Is my opponent gonna play around Rag's Riches by, you know, if I attack with Oracle, do they just take the damage? They should. I think any good player, if I attack with both Oracle and Initiate, would just take the damage. I don't think they would try to make some block. I kind of want to kill that thing though, because it's pretty problematic. Also, getting that in the graveyard is nice because we can steal something next turn. I guess I might get to reanimate that guy in the meantime. On the other hand, this is mostly annoying because they... yeah... I think we can just afford to play Gravedigger. Hopefully they overextend a little bit, getting back the Wanderer, playing some other creatures, and we make a couple double blocks. Like we're not on the verge of dying. This is just not, you know, gonna make our thing unable to block and we'll lose. And if they want to discard a card to kill my Initiate, it's not a problem because Initiate is most likely gonna die from the Rags Riches pretty soon anyway. Yes, sir. It died. The thing died. It is dead. It is gone. Sorry about the noise, by the way. If you heard like a truck or something, it's just I'm playing with my window open because it's a little bit more pleasant, and you know there's quite a bit of beautiful weather outside, and I like to hear the birds and well the truck not so much, but what can you do? What can you do? Just play a random 2-drop, man, and pass the turn. I mean a random 2 toughness creature and pass the turn. That'd be lovely. And then we would go attack with Gravedigger to see if they misplay. Alright. Let's beat down. If they block with one of the 3-4 or 4-3, we'll Rags Riches. If they just take it, we'll drop Drake and pass the turn. I mean, it's pretty obvious that I have something here. This stack is highly suspicious, and if you think a little bit about it, you will probably find a play around it. But, you know, sometimes people just don't care. And now maybe they have a trick to save that, but I still kind of got... I still pretty much got them, because I'm still killing that dude, if anything. And Gravedigger was dying anyway, so, you know, this is a great exchange. I believe. Rags. I mean, the thought process of my opponent might be, well, maybe they have a trick, but I don't care because I have my own trick, so they will 2-for-1 themselves actually. But since I'm playing that, now you know I'm getting value out of it. But I guess you don't always want to play around rares and stuff. However, since they were at 19 before my attack, I believe you know this attack is so suspicious, and you only take 2 damage. Maybe you just don't block, right? I don't know. Yes, sir. I'll take this trade any day of the week. Alright, cool. And we have Riches. The issue is that they can get back their Wanderer, so we might not get to select anything good. I guess we can just block. I don't see how double blocking help us in any way, but maybe I'm wrong. Yes. I mean, if we double block, yeah, it just doesn't do a whole lot for us, I think. Maybe I'm wrong though. Getting that thing back. I think, well, I have this 1-3 blocker, so I actually don't really care about that. I'm just gonna drop the Drakes and hopefully kill them with that. Interesting that they chose to trade their Amit here. Well, the reward finally came. At some point... no, actually, I'd rather play that in case they top deck and Burden. Where it's not very likely that I can get rid of the Ave and Initiate in the graveyard. Maybe I should have attacked, by the way. But I'm at 14, they are at 26. Don't really want to trade 2-for-1 if they have another Reinvolve for my other Drake. Yeah, exactly. Alright, well at some point they will run out of gas, I hope, assume. Guess. Yep. Now I'm just gonna steal their guy, because it can come back pretty much anytime they want, so we are not getting anything better, I don't think so. And this lets me have a lot more pressure. And also, as long as it is on my on my side of the battlefield, it's not gonna come back, which is pretty huge. Like, it's better to steal them than use a reinvol. And maybe they are falling a little bit here, but if they have 9 lands in, 2 lands in hand, which would be 9, I drew 10, no 11, so I don't feel bad. 12 now. I guess they discarded 2 lands. Hyena Pack does stop me, but it cannot really swing back unless they top deck another creature. They are thinking, so I believe they top decked something, but yeah, I don't know what. Alright, well, that makes sense. And now we are kind of this board stall position. I kind of feel like my late game as a whole should be better than their late game, though. I'm worried about a card like Wandering Death. Combat Celebrant, well, that's not looking very good here. Essence Scatter is good. It means we are less likely gonna die to some random Glory Bringers, or just, just a very solid creature they could cast. Yeah, you can have that. At this point, we are cycling that. We are not. They have 2 lands in hand. It's it's almost certain. All right, well, 13. There's like 2 lands left in my entire deck. Yeah, that's not a lot. But if I continue, if I draw the 2 lands, I might end up being in trouble. We have pretty decent advantage here, I believe, though. We can take a couple hit from the Entangler if we want. We can also double block with Skirmisher and Naga Oracle. I'd rather have the Dread Wanderer not die if possible. For for the reason I just mentioned, which as long as it's here, it's not they cannot bring it back, which is nice for us. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah. Don't really want to kill the mummy, because then they can put a counter on my Vizier or on their Wanderer. Will they exert and try to get another attack here? Potentially. I think I'm just gonna do that before they can exert their thing and get to attack with the Hyena. And then they probably don't have any good attack here. Well, I guess I can attack with the pack. But they risk just taking 3 damage next turn by doing that. Yeah, because I'm going to counter that. And here I believe we might just attack and let them get back their Wanderer. I'm not sure if it's right, but... yeah, well... One more and we'll be good. Then it's only going to be spells. Now, tough decision. Do we put them down to 2? Which means they are dead to any cycle card, but we don't have a ton of cycle card, or just a 2-turn clock. They would probably block Wanderer, kill the Skirmisher. Yeah, I think it's worth it. Like, at this stage, I don't believe the game is gonna go long enough where them getting back their Wanderer is gonna be a huge problem, and making sure we can kill them seems like a pretty nice option. I mean, they could have put the counter on the Vizier, actually, which I believe is much better. And maybe that was the reason not to attack, but anyway, they put it on the Skirmisher, so it's pretty good for us. But I think if they put it on the Vizier, we are kind of in a bad spot because this is not really killing them anymore, and the Skirmisher just came back, so Yeah, probably they slightly misplayed here, and we also misplayed by attacking, because if they had made the right play, it would be kind of bad for us. Yeah. Yep, it is back. Yeah, I don't think they have anything other than land in hand, so we'll just go for the kill, even though Casting Drake is probably slightly more valuable. On the other hand, since we know that there's only spell in our deck, pretty much at this point, cycling is not as bad as it could be in other situations. Alright. Cool, that was long and grindy. I think it could have been a little bit shorter if we had drawn a spell slightly earlier, but we got there. Hope you enjoyed that first round. Thank you for watching, and see you for round 2.